Most people believe millionaires have something everyone else doesn't: a higher IQ, a special talent, an extraordinary instinct for making money. It's an appealing story because it excuses us from facing a harder truth. If wealth belongs only to geniuses, then the rest of us never had a chance. But Charlie Munger spent decades proving otherwise. As Warren Buffett's longtime business partner and vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, Munger helped build one of the most successful companies in history. Yet when people asked about the secret to his success, he didn't point to brilliance. Instead, he offered a surprisingly simple principle: avoiding stupidity is easier than seeking brilliance. At first, that sounds too ordinary to explain billions of dollars in wealth, but that's exactly why it matters. The wealth builder always believed financial success came from finding the perfect investment or the next great opportunity. Then he began studying Charlie Munger. The more interviews, speeches, and shareholder letters he read, the more he noticed something unexpected. Munger rarely talked about becoming smarter. He talked about avoiding mistakes. That completely changed how the wealth builder viewed money. Maybe lasting wealth isn't built through extraordinary decisions. Maybe it's built by refusing to make the ordinary mistakes that quietly destroy wealth over decades. He looked around and saw the evidence everywhere. Intelligent people earned high salaries yet remained financially stressed. Others with average intelligence quietly became millionaires. The difference wasn't IQ, it was discipline. Munger believed a handful of predictable behaviors destroy fortunes again and again. Avoiding them gives you an enormous advantage. But before we get into them, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Every video here is designed to help you think more clearly, avoid costly mistakes, and build wealth through timeless principles, not hype. Now, let's look at the handful of predictable, stupid behaviors Charlie Munger believed have quietly destroyed fortunes for generations. The first is surprisingly common. 1. They never chase every opportunity. The wealth builder once believed successful investors were always hunting for the next big thing. Most people do. Munger believed the opposite. Great investors spend far more time saying no than saying yes. People chase hot stocks, trending technologies, and whatever social media claims will create instant wealth. Every opportunity feels impossible to ignore. But every yes comes with a hidden cost. Every dollar, hour, and ounce of attention invested in one idea can't be used somewhere else. Munger didn't succeed because he invested in everything. He succeeded because he patiently waited for the few opportunities he truly understood. You stopped asking, "What's the next investment?" Instead, you should ask, "What can I confidently ignore?" That single shift protected more of your future than constantly chasing excitement. 2. They never borrow to impress other people. Money should buy freedom. Too often, it buys approval instead. Luxury cars, bigger houses, designer brands. Individually, they don't seem irresponsible. Together, they quietly steal financial independence. Munger understood that status is one of the most expensive addictions because it always demands another purchase and another comparison. The people trying hardest to look wealthy often delay becoming wealthy. Meanwhile, real wealth compounds quietly because it isn't constantly interrupted by unnecessary spending. You should begin viewing every unnecessary purchase differently. It is not just money disappearing. It is future freedom disappearing with it. Munger wasn't against enjoying life. He was against sacrificing tomorrow's freedom for today's applause. 3. They don't put money in what they don't understand. One of Munger's most famous ideas is staying inside your circle of competence. The principle is simple: know what you understand. More importantly, know what you don't understand. That's where most people fail. Friends recommend guaranteed investments. Influencers predict the next big opportunity. Headlines convince everyone they're about to miss out. Munger refused to play that game. If he couldn't clearly explain how a business made money or what risks it faced, he simply walked away. Not because he lacked intelligence, because he respected his own ignorance. The wealth builder realized something powerful, saying, "I don't know," costs nothing. So you pretending you do can cost everything. Missing one winning investment is far less damaging than losing money in something you never understood. 4. They never let emotions control financial decisions. Markets rise, markets fall. The headlines constantly swing between optimism and panic. Munger wasn't fascinated by the market. He was fascinated by human behavior. Again and again, he watched intelligent people confuse emotion with evidence. Greed convinced them prices would rise forever. Fear convinced them everything was collapsing. You also feel the same way. Nothing about an investment had changed. Only your emotions had. Munger believed temperament mattered more than intellect. Anyone can stay calm when everything is going well. The real test comes during uncertainty. Instead of following the crowd, he relied on facts. That should be your new habit. Instead of asking, "What is everyone else doing?" you should ask, "What do the facts actually say?" Over time, rational decisions compound just as powerfully as good investments. 5. They never stop learning. Charlie Munger was a lifelong student. He read history, psychology, economics, engineering, biology, mathematics, and business, not to collect knowledge, to make better decisions. He believed the best investors don't just study investing, they study how the world works. Every subject sharpened his judgment. Every book improved future decisions. I want you to realize that learning is one of the few investments no market crash can erase. Money compounds. So does wisdom. Charlie Munger didn't build extraordinary wealth by discovering secret formulas. He built it by consistently avoiding predictable mistakes. He didn't need to outsmart everyone else. He simply refused to repeat the behaviors that keep intelligent people poor. The Wealth Builder closed another one of Munger's books with a completely different understanding of wealth. Financial success isn't reserved for geniuses. More often, it's the reward for people with the discipline to avoid obvious mistakes. Maybe that's why Munger's advice remains so timeless. Building wealth doesn't always begin by asking, "What's the smartest decision I can make?" Sometimes it begins with a simpler question. What's the mistake I'll never make again?